Devaya Om Jana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtike. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapti Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, Chapter 14, Text 25, where Kashyap Muni is trying to pacify Diti because it's not a auspicious time. Sma Shana Chakra Niladhuli Dhumra Vikirna Vidyota Chata Kalapaha Basmava Gunthamala Rukma Deho Devastribihi Pashyati Devaraste. Lord Shiva's body is reddish and he is unstained, but he is covered with ashes. His hair is dusty from the whirlwind dust of the burning crematorium. He is the younger brother of your husband and he sees with his 3 eyes. So Kashyap Muni and Lord Shiva are brothers because they're both born of Brahma. Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living entity, nor is he in the category of Vishnu or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is far more powerful than any living entity up to the standard of Brahma. I'm sorry. Yet he is not on an equal level with Vishnu. Since he is almost like Lord Vishnu, Shiva can see past, present, and future. So Lord Shiva, he's not an ordinary Jiva. He's not like us. We are Jivatma, right? We are the marginal energy. We are Jiva Tattva. So even Lord Brahma, he's Jiva Tattva. And then all the incarnations of Lord Vishnu, of Lord Krishna, they are all Vishnu Tattva. And Krishna, of course, is the Supreme Lord. But then who's Lord Shiva? What is his identity? He is Shiva Tattva. He's a Tattva of his own. He's Shiva Tattva. So he is an expansion of Lord Vishnu. Of course, everyone is an expansion. We are all parts and parcels of Krishna. So is he. But he is not an ordinary living entity. So the example is given that how yogurt, curd, is made from milk. So from milk, we can make yogurt. So Lord Vishnu, he expands as Lord Shiva and becomes Shiva Tattva. But yogurt can never become milk again. So Lord Shiva can never become Vishnu. He's not on the level of Lord Vishnu. So out of the 64 qualities that Rupa Goswami mentions in the Nectar of Devotion in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Krishna has all 64 qualities. Then Lord Vishnu has 60 qualities. And Lord Shiva, he has 55 qualities. And the ordinary living entities up to Lord Brahma, we have 50 qualities. So that's how we can understand. So Lord Shiva, he is a tattva of his own, Shiva tattva, not an ordinary jiva. But he's not the Supreme Lord. He's not Vishnu tattva. Okay. One of his eyes is like the sun, another is like the moon, and his third eye, which is between his eyebrows, is like fire. He can generate fire from his middle eye, and he is able to vanquish any powerful living entity, including Lord Brahma. Yet, he does not live pompously in a nice house, etc., nor does he possess any material properties, although he is the master of the material world. So why is he called the master of the material world? Because he's the husband of Durga Devi. This whole material world is the jurisdiction of Durga Devi, of Parvati. She has many names. Parvati, Durga Devi. And Lord Shiva is her husband. So he is her master. So this whole world actually belongs to him. But where does he live? He does not even live in a house. He does not live in the house. He could live in a big palace or something, but he does not like to. He lives mostly in the crematorium where dead bodies are burnt. And the whirlwind dust of the crematorium is his bodily dress. He is unstained by material contamination. So Lord Shiva, he is not, he's a pure devotee. He's Vaishnava Yatha Shambhu, Vaishnava Yatha Shambhu. He's the best Vaishnava. He's a pure devotee. He does not have any material desires. Kashyap took him as his younger brother because the youngest sister of Diti, Kashyap's wife, was married to Lord Shiva. Okay. The husband of one sister is considered one's brother. Oh, sorry, Kashyap was, I think, Marichi's son, right? Was he directly born from Lord Shiva? Now I'm confused. Anyway, what he's explaining is that Diti's sister was married to Lord Shiva because Daksha, he had so many daughters and then he got them married to different personalities. So one of Daksha's daughter was also Sati, Parvati Devi. And another daughter is Diti. So Kashyap and Lord Shiva, they are like brothers-in-law. So that's why he's considered as a brother. By that social relationship, Lord Shiva happened to be the younger brother of Kashyap. Kashyap warned his wife that because Lord Shiva would see their sex indulgence, the time was not appropriate. Diti might argue that they would enjoy sex life in a private place. But Kashyap reminded her that Lord Shiva has 3 eyes, called the sun, moon, and fire, and one cannot escape his vigilance any more than one can escape Vishnu. Although seen by the police, a criminal is sometimes not immediately punished. The police wait for the proper time to apprehend him. The forbidden time for sexual intercourse would be noted by Lord Shiva, and Diti would meet with proper punishment by giving birth to a child of ghostly character or a godless impersonalist. Kashyap foresaw this, and thus he warned his wife Diti. Is that okay? Because Kashyap Muni was like, okay, Lord Shiva is going to see us having sex together. He's going to be upset. It's not a right time, So the child that will be born to you, you want so much a child, but that child is not going to be a devotee. The child will have a ghostly character, a demoniac character. So even the time of conception is very, very important. The time of conceiving, because what kind of soul we are inviting inside the womb is very important. Many devotees now, because they do the Garbhadan Samskar, right? So before uniting to have a child, they chant, they're prescribed to chant. I think 50 rounds or something, that's Garbhadan Samskara. But they also see the time. Is it an auspicious time to invite a devotee soul. You know, many devotees do that. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
So text 26, na yasya loke swajana parova natyadrito nota kaschid vigrahayaha vayam vratir yak charana pavidham ashas mahe ajam bata bhukta bhogam. Lord Shiva regards no one as his relative, yet there is no one who is not connected with him. He does not regard anyone as very favorable or abominable. We respectfully worship the remnants of his footstuff and we vow to accept what is rejected by him. Kashyap informed his wife that just because Lord Shiva happened to be his brother-in-law, that should not encourage her in the offense towards him. Kashyap warned her that actually Lord Shiva is not connected with anyone, nor is anyone his enemy. Since he is one of the three controllers of the universal affairs, he is equal to everyone. His greatness is incomparable because he is a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is said that among all the devotees of the Personality of Godhead, Lord Shiva is the greatest. Thus, the remnants of foodstuff left by him are accepted by other devotees as Mahaprasad or great spiritual foodstuff. The remnants of foodstuff offered to Lord Krishna are called prasad, but when the same prasad is eaten by a great devotee like Lord Shiva, it is called Mahaprasad. So Lord Shiva, Kashyap Muni is saying, okay, even though he's your brother-in-law, he's my brother-in-law, your brother-in-law, don't think that he's not going to punish you, you know. He is equal to everyone because he's in charge of maintaining the universal affairs. That's his duty. So he is going to perform it without feeling, oh, no, let me be partial. You know, the controllers of the universe, they're not partial. So he's going to do that. Lord Shiva is impartial, he's saying that, because he's not connected with anyone. And then Lord Shiva, as we say, he's the greatest Vaishnav. He's the best devotee, greatest devotee. Among all the devotees of Personality of Godhead, Lord Shiva is the greatest. Vaishnava Yatha Shambhu, you know. And so we offer bhoga to Krishna, that's prasad. And when that prasad is accepted by a devotee of the Lord, then whatever he leaves behind, whatever the devotee leaves behind becomes Mahaprasad. It becomes Mahaprasad, you know. So because it's actually, many people call it Mahaprasad, because when Krishna has eaten it, it becomes Mahaprasad. Then when the devotee is eaten, it becomes Mahaprasad, because it's touched by the devotee. So Lord Shiva is so great that he does not care for the material prosperity for which every one of us is so eager. Parvati, who is the powerful material nature personified, is under his full control as his wife, yet he does not use her even to build a residential house. He prefers to remain without shelter, and his great wife also agrees to live with him humbly. So Lord Shiva, because he's Durga Devi is his wife, Parvati is his wife, he can have all the riches possible, you know. All of us want big house, cars, jewelry, status. But what does Lord Shiva? He does not want all this. Although he can, but he's not attached to any of this. He's just meditating all the time. On who? On Lord Sankarshan. Lord Sankarshan is his Ishtadev. Lord Shiva, he's always meditating, we see. Lord Sankarshan, an expansion of Krishna, that's his Ishtadev. Lord Shiva's Ishtadev. People in general worship Goddess Durga, the wife of Lord Shiva, for material prosperity. But Lord Shiva engages her in his service without material desire. He simply advises his great wife that of all kinds of worship, the worship of Vishnu is the highest, And greater than that is the worship of a great devotee or anything in relation with Vishnu. So many people, many of us, we pray to Durga Devi, especially Navratra time. And Navratra time. And otherwise also, many of us, we will pray to Durga Devi. Many people pray Durga Devi. Why? So that we can get all the material benefits which she can give. But what does Lord Shiva tell Durga? Durga Devi is ask Lord Shiva, what is the best worship? And Lord Shiva tells her that the best worship is to worship Lord Vishnu. And even higher than the worship of Lord Vishnu is to worship his devotee. It's to worship his devotees. That's what Lord Shiva himself is telling to Durga Devi. So we should follow his words and follow and worship Lord Vishnu and his devotees. That's why we do Tulsi Aarti, because she's a pure devotee of Krishna. Is that okay?
Yeah, only one question. So Lord Shiva came from Brahma. He's supposed to be Brahma's son, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how the pastime is happening now.
Right? Then how about Kashyap Muni?
Kashyap Muni, I think he was the son of, was he there? I'm not sure. We read it, actually. We did read it a few.
I can't.
Was Kashyap Muni, was he directly born of Brahma or was he son of Marichi? I'm not sure. We did read it. If you want, I can refer it back a little later. And then
I think there were two munis whose name has to be remembered because they were married to a lot of, I think one was Kashyap and one was Angira. No, there was one more Muni. Two names have to be remembered. I think if you want, I can share for the lineage. If you just want, I can share the third and the fourth part of the Arjun Sakha Prabhu who said, and he has explained it very well in that, the lineage. The names to be remembered. The names that have to be remembered in this canto.
Okay.
Yeah, so Kashyap Muni also was a pure devotee, right?
Kashyap Muni, he is a devotee. I wouldn't say pure devotee, but he's of course a devotee also. He is actually he's the father of all the demigods and the demons. So he has many wives, right? One of his wives is Diti, now who's asking him for children, and another one is Aditi.
Aditi, yeah.
So Aditi is also his wife.
Who will have the devtas.
Yeah. Right? So the demons and the demigods are both born from Kashyap.
Right. Correct.
So in that way, yes, he is of course a great sage, a very, very powerful person, one of the Prajapatis also. And but he's not mentioned as a pure devotee, a pure devotee who's just concerned with preaching. He's not mentioned like that. Yeah. For sure, he's a devotee. He's been given such a important role to play in the pastime, to beget so many important children. He's also the father of Vamandev, Aditi and Kashyap Muni. They are the parents of also Vamandev, right?
Okay, yeah, because Vaman. Okay.
Yeah, Vamandev. Okay. So then, reading on, yeah, but the very great personality to be, to be the father of the demigods and the demons and to be given such an important role in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, so certainly a very great personality. Yasyana Vadya Charitam Manishino Grananti Avidya Patalam Bibitsvaha Nirasta Samyatishayo Api Yatsvayam Pishacha Charyam Acharad Gatehi Satam. Although no one in the material world is equal to or greater than Lord Shiva, and although His unimpeachable character is followed by great souls to dismantle the mass of nations. He nevertheless remains as if a devil to give salvation to all the devotees of the Lord. Lord Shiva's uncivilized, devilish characteristics are never abominable because he teaches the sincere devotees of the Lord how to practice detachment from material enjoyment. He's called Mahadev, or the greatest of all demigods, and no one is equal to or greater than him in the material world. He is almost equal with Lord Vishnu, although he always associates with Maya, Durga. He is above the reactionary stage of the three modes of material nature. And although he is in charge of devilish characters in the mode of ignorance, he is not affected by such association. So this is the glories of Lord Shiva. Then what does he teach? The sincere devotees how to be detached from this material world. Maya Devi is his wife. He can tell her to give him anything. He can ask any type of enjoyment in this material world, but he's completely detached. He's not interested in anything. What is he interested in? Just meditating on Krishna. That's what he wants. He's a pure devotee, Lord Shiva. And because he's not an ordinary living entity, he's much greater than us. There's no one, no demigod that is greater than him. That's why I said in the material world. Because he's a Shiva Tattva. He's not an ordinary living entity. But he's not Vishnu. He's not Lord Vishnu. He's not Narayan. He's not Krishna. He's not the Supreme Lord. He is the devotee of the Supreme Lord. And he teaches the devotees how to remain detached. And although Durga Devi is his wife, Durga Devi, there's three modes of nature, right? Goodness, passion, and ignorance. And although he's in charge of the mode of ignorance, he himself is not in ignorance. He is not in ignorance. He knows perfectly his position, that he's a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. That's how he's able to all the time fix his mind on the Supreme Lord. And his teachings, if we hear, he's just always saying, chant the name of Krishna, chant the name of Lord Rama, worship Lord Vishnu, worship the devotees of Lord Vishnu. That's what he teaches. He's not, although Durga Devi is his wife, he's not attracted, he's not attached by her. That's why when Vishnu comes as Mohini Roop, and then he gets so crazy after her, Mohini Roop. So he says, yes, you are rightfully my Lord, because I'm not attracted at all by the material energy. Durga Devi cannot give me, I'm not attracted by her, but only you, my Lord, could attract me to this degree. And I am so fortunate to be your servant. You know, there's beautifully he speaks after the churning of the ocean when he wants to see the Mohini Roop. So that's the glories of Lord Shiva. So, and there's also stated that he's always covered with ashes. So I read in somewhere that he's covered with ashes of the pure devotees, because he always wants to have the association of the devotees. So he smears his body all over with the ashes of the pure devotees of the Lord. So he's a very, like, people don't understand him and they misunderstand him, and then they think they are following Lord Shiva. You know, they don't understand him properly, and but that's his position. He's a pure devotee of Krishna. Okay. Any questions or comments? No, then we'll read one more.
Yeah.
Hasanti yasya charitam hi durbhagaha swatman ratyasya vidushaha samhitam yer vastramala ya bhara nanu lepanehe swabhojanam swatmaya tayo palalitam. Unfortunate, foolish persons, not knowing that he is engaged in his own self, laugh at him. Such foolish persons engage in maintaining the body, which is eatable by dogs, with dresses, ornaments, garlands, and ointments. Lord Shiva never accepts any luxurious dress, garland, ornament, or ointment. But those who are addicted to the decoration of the body, which is finally eatable by dogs, very luxuriously maintain it as the self. Such persons do not understand Lord Shiva, but they approach him for luxurious material comforts. So many people pray to Lord Shiva because they know he is very easily pacified. Many young women, many young girls pray to Lord Shiva to have a good husband like him. He's a very good husband. He's a pure devotee of the Lord. But many approach him only for getting material benefits. Well, mostly people approach him is to get material benefits.
Yes, that even I've heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly they don't approach him to give pure devotion. Actually, Lord Shiva can give pure devotion. He can give love of Krishna to anyone because he has that. He's a pure devotee himself. So he can give pure devotional service to anyone who approaches him for it. There are two kinds of devotees of Lord Shiva. One class is the gross materialist, seeking only bodily comforts from Lord Shiva, and the other class desires to become one with him. They are mostly impersonalist and prefer to chant Shivo Ham, I am Shiva, or after liberation, I shall become one with Lord Shiva. So, okay, one kind of people are asking him material benefits. Give me this so that I can be happy in this material world. And another one is that I want to become Shiva myself. That after I leave this body, I'm going to become Lord Shiva. In other words, the karmis and jnanis are generally devotees of Lord Shiva, but they do not properly understand his real purpose in life. Sometimes so-called devotees of Lord Shiva imitate him in using poisonous intoxicants. Yeah, many people, many followers of Lord Shiva take charas, ganja, drugs, all these things, saying that, oh, Lord Shiva drank poison, so we are following. But that's not what Lord Shiva is all about. They're just imitating him without trying to understand what does he teach. What does Lord Shiva teach? Lord Shiva is saying, worship Lord Vishnu, worship the devotees of Lord Vishnu. That's what he's saying. So, what is that? Lord Shiva once swallowed an ocean of poison and thus his throat became blue. The imitation Shivas try to follow him by indulging in poisons and thus they are ruined. The real purpose of Lord Shiva is to serve the soul of the soul, Lord Krishna. He desires that all luxurious articles such as nice garments, garlands, ornaments, and cosmetics be given to Lord Krishna only because Krishna is the real enjoyer. He refuses to accept such luxurious items himself because they're only meant for Krishna. However, since they do not know this purpose of Lord Shiva, foolish persons either laugh at him or profitlessly try to imitate him. So he's a pure devotee. He says, my Lord should have all this nice. Krishna is always decorated so beautifully. Garlands and sandalwood paste, so much ornaments, very nice clothes. And he'll have all this decorations. So Lord Shiva is saying, give it to my Lord. I don't want it. It's all for the enjoyment of my Lord. That is Lord Shiva's mood. So we should also follow Lord Shiva's mood and offer everything to Krishna. Lord Shiva is a pure devotee of Krishna. And there's so many pastimes of Lord Shiva. He's wanted to enter the Ras-Lila, and so he wanted to enter the Ras-Lila. But then how to enter Ras-Lila? He's in a male body. He cannot, no? So then they told him, okay, you go dip in the Manasarovar. And then he got the form of a gopi. And that's why he's Gopeshwar Mahadev. And then they told him, you guard the Raslila. Somebody who's not a devotee, don't let them enter the Raslila. And that's what he does. He guards the place where the Raslila is happening. Now, till today, his temple is there in Vrindavan, Gopeshwar Mahadev. In the morning, he's dressed as, it's a Shivlung, he's dressed as Lord Shiva. In the night, he's dressed as a gopi. So what does Lord Shiva want? Always to serve Lord Krishna. Always, even in Mayapur, the Lord Shiva, the Shivlung is there in Shimanta Dweep. He's the Dhampal. He always protects the Dham, does not let atheists, impersonalists enter the Dham. You know? So even in Jagannath Puri, Lord Shiva is there. He's always there. Wherever Lord Krishna is there, Lord Shiva is there to protect the Dham. And Durga Devi is there to protect the Dham. Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
so,
how Lord Shiva came as a sadhu, no? When he wanted to see Krishna, baby Krishna. Right?
oh yeah, I think there's a pastime. Yes. Yeah. He just wants to, people misunderstand him. They don't understand why is he sitting, who is he meditating on? They don't understand. They just try to imitate him, or don't understand what is he saying. Don't listen to him. Basically, his own followers don't listen to him. That's the sad part. So,
and the followers only think that, yeah, he's only he's the supreme God.
yes. And they want to become Shiva. Yeah, we just read that Shivoham, I am Shiva, that after I leave the body, I'm going to become Lord Shiva. Or even if not, they think he's the Supreme Lord. But whereas he's saying, I'm a devotee of the Lord. Give everything to Krishna. Worship Krishna. That's what he's saying. That's the real way to please Lord Shiva. When we follow that, we become devotees of Krishna, that is the best way to please Lord Shiva. Otherwise, he's not happy. A devotee does not like to be worshipped by himself, for himself. He's not happy with the devotees who think that he is God or who want to become Shiva. No, the best way to please him is to become a devotee of Krishna, to get his real protection then. So we'll end here for today. Any other comments or realizations?
But they say, right, like you should go through a pure devotee to get Krishna. So then he's a pure devotee.
Yes.
Right.
So he has his sampradaya, the Rudra sampradaya. He has. And that is a bona fide sampradaya to reach Krishna. Yes. But people should follow what he's teaching, what his sampradaya is actually teaching. But people don't follow. They just make up different things and want to, they've just made up, like, mentally concocted different ideas of who Lord Shiva is, basically. They're not following him to reach Krishna.
And they worship him for material wants. Yeah.
But then what will be the gain? What will happen is they'll still remain in the material world. And Lord Shiva is not pleased by that. He's not pleased. He's a pure devotee. A pure devotee is never pleased in seeing people continue to stay in the material world. he is always connected to Krishna. He's always meditating on Krishna. So he wants everyone to be engaged in service of Krishna. He's always serving Krishna. That's why he also takes up this position in this universal affair. That's his service to Krishna. So what does he want? He wants everyone to serve Krishna. And that's the way to please Lord Shiva. So, shall we stop here for today?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for joining in today morning. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.